This is hell in the cell. The structure is over 1 ton in total weight. Once you get in there is nowhere to go, nowhere to run when that door is shut and padlocked.
It's gonna be Kane!
Clap for your face, give us a little sync.
The fact that I'm tougher than nails, the fact that I'm the man here.
You don't have to call me Mr. Calloway, just call me Taker. If Shawn Michaels back then was on fire, I probably wouldn't piss on him to put him out.
Shawn Michaels, take one.
Incoming!
That was one that I knew was freaking money.
I grew up in a small town about 2 hours north of St. Louis, Missouri. I was a very good football player. I was going to play in the NFL, and I suffered a very serious knee injury, which dashed those hopes. And all my life, all I'd ever wanted to do, ever since I was a little kid, all I wanted to do was play sports. I mean, has always been my dream, was to be a professional athlete.
And there is the monster.
I was able to achieve that through WWE and through the Kane character.
And he connects with a clothesline off the top.
That feeling of being able to touch people emotionally, it's just the greatest gift that anyone could have. And I never thought that that could have happened for a person like me. I always thought that in the end, I had these dreams of being a professional athlete and being a famous person and all this stuff. They were dreams. Never dreamt that those dreams could actually come true.
Sarah, you gonna pick it up?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Let me put my headphones back on.
When you have people, who you admire, Elvis, Jim Morrison, James Dean, which are all the idols in my life, and there's something common about the way they all live their life or whatever. They were all very rebellious, reckless kind of people. And it's been glorified a little bit, and maybe it's not right. But the world is full of those kind of people, and I'm one of those people.
Where Shawn Michaels and I are today and where we were at back then on a personal level, it's taken a complete 360. And if Shawn Michaels back then was on fire, I probably wouldn't piss on him to put him out.
It's not like there was a bunch of animosity. It's just we were just two very different personalities. I was very outgoing, which is to say I was overly obnoxious. And Mark's always been a very quiet, laid-back kind of guy. Again, we always say cool hand Luke, very Clint Eastwood-ish type, and I was not.
But that being said, there's no one that I would rather be in the ring with than Shawn Michaels. When it came to bell time and we were looking across the ring at each other, we knew there was going to be something really special. Shawn was way ahead of his time in the things that he could do athletically. You take Shawn back in '97 and you can plug him in what they're doing right now, wouldn't miss a beat. The gift that Shawn has, he knows how to get you invested in the story. And that's what set him apart, his psychology and his ability to tell a story the way it needed to be told.
He's killing me! He's killing me! Disqualified!
Obviously, when I first came in, I was this scary monster that everyone was terrified of. I remember vividly making my entrance and looking and seeing kids crying. And, I think everybody has a little bit of darkness in them anyway. And I think I tapped in on that, and it kind of became cool to have that dark element to your personality.
Prior to this entire sort of storyline between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, there had been times over the years when people within the WWE had presented, hey, how about a Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid against The Undertaker? And of course, at the time, Vince McMahon was very emphatic about those two will never be in the ring with each other.
You have these two strong personalities, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, that when they collide, and what is the finality of that? Because you have to keep both guys whole. You have to keep both of those attractions strong.
There was sort of a situation arose to where, again, Mark and I were just sort of the only two people left. We found ourselves, I think, in a place creatively where, we'll just put it out there for one pay-per-view.
Michaels off the rope from the other side.
It just went so well that, we continued to go with it, and then I got with Hunter and D-Generation X.
It's brass knuckles, a pair of brass knuckles.
Then it began to make a little bit more sense that we as a group, D-Generation X, could have what it took collectively to keep The Undertaker down.
Here you have this killer monster, unstoppable force, and you're gonna put him in this cell with this obnoxious, arrogant character. You just guess, oh, this is gonna be great. He's finally gonna get his. So I think that's kind of what manifested was the fact that, oh my gosh, The Undertaker is gonna have no mercy on Shawn Michaels, and there's no way anybody can help him. He is gonna get lit up.
Did you see that? He took out about 10 superstars, including Shawn Michaels.
You made the mistake of your life when you mess with me. You're gonna have to pay the price. You're gonna have to come like these kids to the dentist. My own personal dentist, Isaac Yankum, DDS. Next.
My career before Kane stunk. I've been given opportunities, but they weren't anything that I could really do very well. The character Isaac Yankum, DDS, and then you had the Diesel character. Diesel! Which was an imitation, and those really never work out very well. I thought that was gonna be it. I thought that I would have a very short career and one not noteworthy of anything.
So here you have this guy, and Vince told him, if you want to be successful in this business, you have to have a little bit of in you. What that meant is you have to be able to go out there, and sometimes you have to do the right thing for yourself because it's the right thing for the company. Glenn was just a really nice guy. Scary, could rip your head off without blinking an eye probably, but a genuinely nice human being. And that's great, but sometimes in this business, and especially in that era, you had to be able to stand up for yourself, and you had to have a little bit of in you. And by the time that Kane came along, I think he had realized that, and he knew that it was his last chance.
Despite my early on failures, I'd always kept a good attitude, and I was professional. So I think that Vince looked at me as someone that, he thought that, man, this kid can do something. It's just a matter of getting him in the right spot.
So in spitballing, a lot of times as you're going through creative, you throw out some wild ideas and you start telling stories maybe to convince yourself and to convince everybody else in the room. And I got on a roll, and I asked the question, I said, hey, what if The Undertaker had a brother? No one knew about this brother. And his name was Kane.
He was in a fire at the funeral home where you were growing up and has been lost ever since.
And years later now, his brother, Kane, had grown up and had this deep-seated resentment that his brother, The Undertaker, had never come to check on him. Didn't care if he was dead or alive, because that's the story that he had been told all these years.
I remember they wanted initially to name the character Inferno, which I was like, Inferno? That ain't good at all. But Bruce Pritchard had always been a fan of the name Kane. In fact, Undertaker was originally
a man named Kane.
And Bruce's son is named Kane.
As a matter of fact, my son's first public baby picture, when we got them home, I actually put the Kane mask on him as an infant, just, you know, and took that. And when I brought it into television, showing everybody, hey, here's my daughter and here's my son, Kane mask.
The concept that I had for Kane was, it was like Michael Myers or Jason. You know, it was this strange killer who had escaped and basically in coveralls or whatever. And so when I got the first concept of the Kane costume, I was scratching my head because it looked like a superhero. So called Vince and discussed it with him, and that's when one of the times that I realized that the guy's a genius, because he says, well, you know, yeah, we could do that. But if you think about it on a deeper level, he's like, Kane has been scarred, so his ego has been shattered. So he's overcompensating for this shattered ego by becoming a superhero. I was like, well, I never thought about that. It sounds good to me. Vince is like, the operative word is cool. He wanted everything about Kane to be cool. And then I'm sitting there and I'm watching Raw, and Paul Bearer starts talking about Kane.
Kane is alive, Undertaker! He's breathing just like everybody in this room!
I'm thinking, this is really gonna happen. Because they're already investing TV time into the character. So I'm watching all this and I'm like, wow, this is a big deal, because they're telling a story and they're actually getting into the mythology of The Undertaker.
I was with Kane last night. He's waited 20 years to face his brother. High time! He's coming! He's coming! Yes, he is!
I think it was really intriguing storytelling. You know, the backstory and everything that we would eventually find out as we went through all this. I was happy for Kane to get that opportunity.
I have to express myself. If I want to grow my hair long, believe me, I'm growing my hair long.
And then the story sort of shifted to Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and we forgot about Kane.
I want to put a couple tattoos on my body. I'm going to put tattoos on my body.
Many of my interviews on live television in those days were pretty pointed.
If I want to pierce my belly button, I'm going to pierce my belly button.
I didn't beat around the bush a lot. People, for the most part, knew where I stood on a number of different issues.
If I want to come out here and look like a blithering idiot on live TV, believe me, I'm going to do it. Why? Because I can.
One time in particular, I was just sitting around in the back, just sort of being silly, stuffing things in my shorts and whatnot, and someone made the offhanded remark of like, you don't have the balls to go out there like that. I went out there with this gauze in my shorts, clearly misrepresenting myself. Just really overly, grinding and whatnot, and then I, was jumping up in JR's face. He was livid.
I've told you once, and I've told you 1,000 times, if I go down, I'm bringing everybody with me, and I'm going out in a blaze of glory.
We had a point to where into my promo stops, Undertaker comes up, he says his lines.
Hello, boy. Welcome to my own personal hell.
All that I do, I'm scared and all that, and we end it. And of course, so I did all of that, knew where we would cut to the commercial break, and then on my own, just for fun, off camera,
Undertaker!
I went on and said something to the effect of, you know something, the Undertaker was so big and bad and tough, he'd come out here and face me right now. Counted to 10, thus, in some people's mind, burying the Undertaker.
Man, this guy pissed me off. I didn't say a word to Shawn when he came back. I was so mad. I was so angry. I didn't want to say something that I would regret. I didn't want to get into the confrontation with Shawn right there.
So I got home from the road and I got a call from Vince. He read me the riot act, fined me $10,000.
But in hindsight, Vince came back and said, damn, that's attitude, pal. That's attitude right there. That's what we need, more of that.
There were a lot of times in my career where I angered a lot of people, but I think on that particular evening, I angered absolutely every person possible.
He had that knack, even in our world, to kind of even add that extra spark by doing things like that. There were a lot of things that Shawn did that I didn't agree with, but I always knew, bottom line, when the bell rang, everything was going to get paid off.
Anywho, it was an eventful time just getting to Hell in a Cell. I can remember mentioning to people that years, prior in the Omni, the old George Championship Wrestling, Buzz Sawyer and Tommy Rich had this cage that had a top on it. So, of course, in my mind, I asked the WWE, and Vince, and I'm like, hey, could we do something where it's like not the standard cage match, but we could put a top on it? And he said, well, let us play with it. And of course, they ended up doing what the WWE does, which is taking sort of something simplistic and then turning it into what is now Hell in a Cell.
It was explained to me that the Hell in a Cell concept, that was actually built for Kane, because everybody, the creative, wanted this idea where it was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker inside a structure that it was all about them and no one could even think that anyone else would get involved.
It was a pretty ominous looking deal. It was really cool, and to know that you were about to be, involved in something historic within the business was cool too.
You walk in and you go like, holy cow, that is awesome. And my first thought was, I gotta get on top of that. And that's exactly what came out of my mouth. And of course, everybody's like, well, no, you can't get on top because the whole point of it's a cage and, it's to keep you two in. And I just said, oh, I'm getting on top of that. That's one thing I had certainly learned by that time in my career. There is only one first at something. And if you were the first at something, it's history in the making, baby.
Bad Blood was in St. Louis, which is my hometown. Went and visited my parents and saw a friend of mine, and my buddy offers to give me a ride to the arena. And my folks lived in a small town about an hour and a half north of St. Louis. So my friend pulls up, and his wife had taken the good car. So he pulls up. Calling it a clunker is giving this thing way too much credit. It was in awful shape. It looked like the fenders were about to fall off. So we're driving along, and we're talking and stuff. And again, it's about an hour and a half trip. And smoke starts coming out of the stereo. And I look down, I'm like, dude, your car's on fire. And he's like, oh man. And so he started to wave the smoke, and then all of a sudden there's a pop. And now we're rolling down the road. We're no longer being powered. And he pulls over, and now I'm hot because I'm like, you are kidding me. This is my big break, and I'm gonna miss the whole thing because of this car. He calls a friend of his who was actually on the way down to the show. And this was hours now, it's like 9 o'clock. But I'm thinking I'm gonna be late. We get in the other car, and I was actually still early getting into the arena because I left so early. Needless to say, the day didn't quite start like I had wanted it to.
Something that has never happened before is just about to happen, gentlemen. Hell in the Cell. The cell itself is being lowered. Here it comes. And I have never seen an apparatus ever quite like this.
This was The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. I mean, this could have been the main event at WrestleMania. It was that big. And they went out and they had a WrestleMania caliber match.
With The Undertaker, with Shawn Michaels, we're just about ready for Hell in the Cell.
You're in there with The Undertaker. Kane's debuting. My job is so simple, and it's to get beat up. Just how can you take the best ass whipping in the world? That's fun.
Michaels got to get on a bicycle and ride.
Oh! Michaels just literally bounces off the canvas.
And his feet just hit the roof of the cage on that back body drop from the 6'10" and a half Undertaker.
Look at this, Undertaker from the ring post to the cell.
Pillar to post and pillar to post.
That's Hell in a Cell right there.
The match itself was just unbelievable. You just have Shawn at his very best, just getting the tar beat out of him. And then, of course, you have The Undertaker at his very best, beating the tar out of Shawn.
It's methodical. It's a physical dissection of Shawn Michaels. Undertaker, no hurry. This is just prolonging the agony, and I think The Undertaker likes it.
He did. He definitely took an ass kicking that night. The cell itself just presented more opportunities for me to brutalize Shawn, and man, I did.
Michaels is like a rag doll.
This cell was supposed to keep everybody in and everybody out. It's not supposed to be used as a weapon.
Michaels' body must feel like it's been in a car accident.
Oh! Look at Michaels hammering away on The Undertaker. Look at that.
No.
Michaels with a tope right between the ropes.
Michaels with an opportunity. Could it be that Michaels somehow pulls off a victory here tonight?
Oh my gosh, he's going for a cloud driver.
On the top of the steps.
He's got him.
Oh my God.
God almighty.
No.
I don't believe that. Did you hear The Undertaker's skull hit those steps?
I have always considered Shawn to be one of, if not the best ever to do this. I knew that we needed big things like that. We needed to pull that off. If people were going to think, well, he might have some kind of chance of getting out of this.
Michaels with the cover.
Don't do it.
Two.
He did it.
No. Michaels coming right back. Oh no. Oh God, he just wiped out the cameraman. Michaels just wiped out the cameraman right on top of the camera. Right on top of the cameraman.
Come on.
Oh my God. Right the cameraman.
Come on.
Oh, come on.
Big tough guy. Beat up a cameraman.
Now he's
He just kicked him in the back of the head. What is this?
Come on. Leave him alone.
And then we're able to have a moment where we're trying to get him out, and in that process, I'm getting out.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Michaels is out. Michaels is out of the cage.
Bleeding just, it ups the intensity in anything. And especially, I had the ability, rightly or wrongly, to bleed a lot.
Shawn Michaels has been lacerated.
No, not his face in the cage again. No.
The handsome features of Shawn Michaels being rearranged thanks to The Undertaker.
Either get him in the cage or stop it.
Michaels with a kick to the groin area.
Oh, this is bad.
And Michaels is
This
going
is
up.
really bad.
Michaels is going up on top of the cage.
When he scaled up to the top, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
He's on top of the cell.
God, the Undertaker's going right after it. My God, what is this?
It's amazing what adrenaline can do for you because I got up there pretty quick.
Oh my! Nowhere to go but down. What a shot!
Michaels was just backdrop on top of the cage.
There's a really, really cool shot. He's on top of the cell, and the cameraman is in the ring shooting up, and then blood is just kind of dripping through and landing on the lens of the camera.
The Undertaker raining Shawn Michaels' face.
That was so cool, you know, and it added so much context to how violent that match was.
And Michaels still trying to escape from the Undertaker.
The idea is, so we're going to climb up I knew that I wanted to take a backdrop up there. I know I want to get press slammed.
The steel girders are bending. They're about to break.
And I'm like, holy crap. Then, you just kind of visualize it in your head. Think about being that high in the arena, and then, it just kind of steamrolled into what I'd call a beautiful train wreck.
And then, of course, I know I want to, I got to go through a tape. And then you're just up there and looking, okay, can I make it?
No!
Undertaker!
Time down,
He just stepped on one end!
Incoming!
Stepped on the other one.
This may come as a huge shock to people, but I'm not a big thinker.
My God, he may be broken in half!
Somebody's got to help him!
I've never seen anything like that in my life!
And especially when I'm out there wrestling. I mean, most of what I did was instinctual. It just sort of came. I don't try stuff. I don't practice stuff. I just look and I go, yeah, I'll make it.
How in the hell is Michael standing?
Come on,
That's
Michael.
absolutely ungodly! I have never seen anything like this in my life!
Nothing like that had ever happened before. And then they keep on going. And you're like, man, this is something else.
And no! Michaels is getting beaten to a pulp by The Undertaker!
And it was also, watching as a student of the game and also as a wrestling fan, this is textbook of how you have a match like that. I mean, it was as close to perfection as you could possibly get.
Just the flow of the match. It started in 5th gear, and it only kept going, so I'm really proud of that match. But nobody envisioned what was going to come out that night.
It's all over! Now will come the tombstone! No, wait a minute. What else happened? Oh my God, wait a minute! It's Paul Bear! It's Paul Bear! And that's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
I was really nervous because, this was my big break. And also, this is The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And I just didn't want to mess it up.
To the size of this human being! Or is that a human being?
That was the first time when I walked through the curtain. It was the first time I'd ever heard Kane's music. Of course, I didn't get to hear Vince yelling, "That's gotta be Kane."
That's gotta be Kane!
But it was, the crowd went nuts.
Taker was big then. Taker was, I don't know, at 6'10", probably 305 at that time. Glenn was gigantic.
And then Kane comes out with his huge self and his black and his red, and he's just so ominous looking. After this battle that had gone on and on and on, Kane just comes out and rips the door off the cell.
Glenn Jacobs Kane is one strong son of a bitch. People go, oh, it was a gimmick door. It was they had a rig. It's a heavy ass door.
Oh my God, he just ripped the door off its hinges!
The costume and the entrance and all of that was just so awe-inspiring. It's the only way we could have ended that match because we did so many amazing things. You have to top it off with something equally or more impressive. And the debut and the flame and his presence is what carried that.
That's gotta be Kane! The Undertaker! Looking at him, look into the eyes of that giant who stands in front of him. Is that his younger brother? He's huge, whoever he is.
The eyes, you look into someone's soul. And you may not see someone for years, and they may look a lot different many years later, but when you look into their eyes and there's a connection, you feel that. So when Undertaker is first confronted by Kane, we're all looking and wondering, who is this? What is this? And that one reaction by the Undertaker, when Undertaker looks into the eyes of Kane, and realizes you're my brother. That's what made it special.
There was so much backstory there that I had to tell without saying anything. My thought process, and not being a technically trained actor, I was just trying to live the story in my head. People had really never seen The Undertaker in a human sense, I guess. You know, it's always been this cold, calculated killer. Now you get to see a little glimpse of something deeper.
The Undertaker! Tombstone! Undertaker! Set up for the tombstone!
Boom. He tombstones me.
This is shocking.
That happens, out he goes, I drape the arm, and it is just, you could hear the gasp in the building of like, oh. When it goes like that, and you know you've hit it out of the park, it is a grand slam home run when they're like, oh my God, he's gonna win.
That's one of the greatest feelings, you know, that you can have is when you go out there and you know that you've done something that's going to stand the test of time. And we knew right away that we had gone out there and done something really, really special. I don't say this to be conceited or whatnot, but we knew there were not a lot of people in the business that could have done what we did that night.
I'm biased, but it was the greatest debut in history.
Wow, Shawn Michaels from the 90s to today, two different people. Shawn was a Shawn was an Shawn was difficult to deal with. But at the end of the day, he was the best. Shawn Michaels was the best. And no one can ever take that away from him. Today, I think Shawn has just grown up like the rest of us and let what was inside come out.
I look back on all those things now, and I wouldn't change any of them for anything in the world, because there aren't many people in this line of work that live with the joy in their life and the peace in their heart more than I do. So I don't think I'd change the path I've traveled, not one bit.
Everything that I've been able to accomplish or achieve in my career really is based off of what happened at Bad Blood in St. Louis. And all that is based off the fact that a guy named Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, was willing to take a chance on me.
A very, very impressive person is Glenn Jacobs. There has not been anybody that has been more loyal, more trustworthy, more dependable than Kane. I mean, I can't say enough about the human being. The wrestler, yes, phenomenal. Phenomenal in-ring entertainer, a legend, all that. But as a human being, he far exceeds even his success in the ring.
A few years ago, I was going to a concert in Knoxville, and I was out in the concession area getting a soda for my wife and me, and this lady comes running up to me with her daughter. She wanted to show me a picture on her phone, and it was a picture of me and her son. And I'd made a visit to Children's Hospital recently, and that was the picture. She told me that was the last picture that she'd ever taken of her son. And it was with me. So, she wanted to thank me for doing that. And it's like, man, the greatest blessing that my career gave me, wasn't the fame and, money and all that stuff. It was the fact that, you have the ability, if you use it, to at least in some little way bring joy to people and touch them emotionally. And that's incredibly powerful. And that's another thing. I don't know why I was given that, but It's something that I don't take for granted and something that I value very much.